everyone. We've been talking about shapes, and shapes are an important tool used in mathematics. Using lines to determine a shape or using shapes to calculate area or perimeter of an object. Today, let's look at rectangle. Let's look at rectangle. We will say rectangle. What comes to mind? And let's look at this rectangle this way. A rectangle is a shape that has four sides, with its two opposite sides being equal. The two opposite sides are equal. Here, opposite to this place, they are equal. And this place, opposite to this place, they are equal. So, we'll define a rectangle. This is a rectangle. One of its properties is it has four lines, I will say four sides. It has four sides and its two opposite sides are equal. Another thing we know about a rectangle is there is a vertical line and a horizontal line. And whenever a vertical line meets with a horizontal line, it produces an angle called right angle. So for a rectangle of four sides, it will give us four right angles. So the property number 2 of a rectangle, it has four right angles. Number 3 thing I want to say about a rectangle is how many lines of symmetry can I find in a rectangle? Lines of symmetry. What do I mean by lines of symmetry? That particular line that passes through the center of an object or a shape and divides it into identical halves. What do I mean by that? If you look at this right angle, there is a center. When there is a center, the lines that passes through the center and divides the shape into identical halves is known as lines of symmetry. Let's take for example, if I fold this way and it produces for me identical halves of a whole. Identical halves that looks the same. They look the same. Identical, I mean they look the same. It will be very difficult for me to differentiate this place to this place. So we call it identical halves. So that giving us one line of symmetry. Another way is we get it this way, fold it this way. I'm getting another identical halves. Identical halves, giving us the second line of symmetry. There is no other way I can fold this rectangle to get another identical halves. It's unlike the square. In a square, we can get four lines of symmetry. If you want to know about the properties of a square, you can watch my video on squares to know about the properties of the square. But for this rectangle, we say it has only 2 lines of symmetry. So that brings us to property number 3 of a rectangle. Say it has 2 lines of symmetry. The fourth thing I want to say about a rectangle is I want to show you how to calculate the area of a rectangle. This is a rectangle of 4 sides with its 2 opposite sides being equal. 2 opposite sides are equal. To calculate the area of a rectangle, I am looking at this length and this breadth. Area, length, and breadth. This is my length and this is my breadth. Area of a rectangle is equal to length times breadth. Very straightforward. Length times breadth. The length is different from the breadth. There is a length and there is a breadth. So when you multiply the length and the breadth of a rectangle, it gives you the area. The fifth thing I want to mention about a rectangle is how to determine the perimeter of a rectangle. Perimeter of a rectangle What is perimeter? Perimeter is the total distance around an object. Total distance around an object. If when you measure this, if it gives you 5 centimeters, for example, and here gives you 3 centimeters, here, because here is equal to here, here is also 5 centimeters, and because here is equal to this place is also 3 centimeters. When you add up all the measurements you took to get the shape, that gives you the perimeter. Perimeter is the total distance around a shape. So in a rectangle, there is 2 lengths and there is also 2 breadths. That gives us the perimeter. So we can factor this, a little mathematics. We can factor this, there is 2 here, there is 2 here. So we put it 2 and open up a bracket. What is remaining here is L plus, and what's remaining here is the B. So we say the perimeter of a rectangle will give us 2 into L plus B. That is how to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle. Having known the properties of a rectangle, starting from how many sides it has, how many lengths, we have 2 lengths, we have 2 breadths, they are equal. It has 4 right angles, 2 lines of symmetry. Area is length times breadth, and the perimeter is 2 into L plus B. I know, with what we know, we can calculate any problem given to us. Example. Question. Calculate the area and perimeter, the area and perimeter of a rectangle whose length is 5 centimeters and breadth is 3 centimeters. The area, underline area, perimeter of what? A rectangle. How do we calculate the area of a rectangle? Area of a rectangle length equal to length times breadth. And the length is given, the breadth is given. So it's very straightforward. The length is 5 centimeters and the breadth is 3 centimeters. 3 times 5 will give us 15. Centimeter times centimeter will give us what? Centimeter square. The area of a shape is measured in units squared. There must be units squared. It's measured in what? Units squared. When you don't put the units squared, we won't be sure of what you are actually calculating. So the area of a shape is measured in what? Units squared. Alright, to calculate the perimeter of this same rectangle, perimeter two into what? L plus B. And this two, the relationship between these two and the bracket is multiplication. You open the bracket. What is the length? The length is 5 centimeters. Plus, what's our breadth? Our breadth is 3 centimeters. Five plus 3 will give us 8 centimeters. Then 2 times 8 will give us 16 centimeters. This is how we can calculate the area and the perimeter of a rectangle. Use what you know to solve many other questions, and I believe you can do it. Thank you.